Mitch. A defender from Cincinnati, Ohio, number 2, Matt. A defender from Utrecht, Netherlands, number 51, Sam. A defender from Leystown, England, number 32, Justin. A defender from Sydney, Australia, number 4, Harrison. A midfielder from Lincoln, Nebraska, number 3, Tyler. A midfielder from Wycliffe, Ohio, number 6, Kenny. A midfielder from Plano, Texas, number 19, Corbin. A midfielder from Malvern, Pennsylvania, number 20, Jimmy. A forward from San Jose, California, number 23, Andrew. A forward from Kingsburg, Denmark, number 11, Danny. FC Cincinnati is by head coach Alan Koch, assistant coach Johan. FC Cincinnati is represented by UCL. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and welcome the Ottawa Fury and FC Cincinnati to the pitch.
Fans, we ask that you remain standing as Resolution performs O Canada.
Tonight, FC Cincinnati returns home to the friendly confines of Nippert Stadium, set to welcome the Ottawa Fury to the Queen City for the first time. A crucial Eastern Conference midweek clash next. Welcome to Nippert Stadium on the campus of the University of Cincinnati, where we have a spectacular Wednesday night for a crucial USL matchup. Tom Glitter thrilled to be alongside All-American Kevin McCloskey as we get you set for the first ever meeting between FC Cincinnati and Ottawa. And for the Orange and Blue, Kevin, it's no secret the last two league matches have been disastrous for Alan Koch and the Orange and Blue. So he made a few changes, one up top that's significant, one in the back, and he feels like the 11 he's rolling out tonight gives him the best chance for 3 points.
Yeah, you know, conceding a lot of goals, obviously the last two USL games especially, I think is something that's concerned Alan. He has a squad, and a strong squad for that reason, to provide competition. So tonight, two different changes in the lineup, and hopefully he gets a reaction from that.
Yeah, no doubt. We will not see Austin Berry in the starting lineup tonight. We'll give you the full 11 here in a few minutes. Defense on your mind, Kevin, as we take a look at the key matchup brought to you by your Greater Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Volkswagen dealers.
Yeah, I think Ottawa obviously going to come in with a lot of firepower. I think Dos Santos is a player that really has full reign to do whatever he wants. And for Sam DeWitt, it's going to be a key battle tonight. Dos Santos is very mobile, very athletic. So for me at least, it's going to be a key matchup tonight.
Well, an opportunity this evening for the Orange and Blue to pick up a big win and then finally get some rest. Starters and the first touch when we return to Nippert Stadium. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer.
'FCC fans, please joining us tonight as honorary captains for the Boys Hawks are Hilton Days, head coach of UC Men's Soccer, and Neil Stafford, head coach of UC Women's Soccer. Stick around at halftime and watch both teams participate in a crossbar challenge. FC Cincinnati thanks both programs for being here tonight supporting Cincinnati soccer. Go Bearcats!
One, two, three, four.
Hello, Bailey!
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, FC Cincy fans! It's time to rise together for FC Cincinnati Soccer!
FC Cincinnati and the Ottawa Fury have taken the pitch here at Nippert Stadium, where we are just about set for the first ever meeting between these two clubs. Tom Glitter alongside Kevin McCloskey will take you through the action tonight, and let's get it started with the starting lineups brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. We hinted at it in the open, and a couple changes for Alan Koch tonight. Danny Koenig will start up top as the striker instead of GB. No Austin Berry starting tonight. He is available and healthy in the 18. Good to see Tyler Pollock is back and starting on the left side for Alan Koch. At the other end for Ottawa, they come in with an interim head coach in Julian de Guzman, who is in his third match as the manager for the club, and the goalkeeper there, Callum Irving. He's been consistent all year long. This is his 23rd start in as many matches for the club, and a veteran goalie presence there for the Fury. All of our sideline reports are brought to you by your local Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Volkswagen dealers. Let's head downstairs, and for the first time tonight, check in with Lindsey Patterson.
Yeah, guys, after falling in the last three, FC Cincinnati hopes to bounce back tonight in a midweek match. Also a good opportunity to gain some ground in that playoff race. 6 of the last 8 against the Eastern Conference. Sitting at the bottom there, Alan Koch said he hopes his guys can feed off this home crowd at Nippert, and good to have leader Kenny Walker back out there too.
Kenny Walker, of course, suspended over the weekend when they took on New York Red Bulls too, so a little extra rest. Kenny wearing the captain's armband tonight with Austin Berry out. Our match official is brought to you by Kingsgate Transportation. We could take it from here. Eric Tattersall with the all-clear signal, and we are underway. The first ever meeting between these two clubs. Ottawa in their all-red kits, FC Cincinnati in their traditional blues, and a quick whistle will turn it around and give it back to the home side.
Well, very interesting start, Tommy. Direct play straight away. I think you see Ottawa's intent. They're going to try to make it uncomfortable for this back line for FC Cincinnati. They're going to try to make it as physical as possible, and we saw that from the first play.
FC Cincinnati trying to make something happen right from the jump at the other end. Jimmy McLaughlin tracking it down, but didn't have any help there on the left side of the 18. And Ottawa was able to clear it away. Tonight's injury report is presented by the Levy Law Offices. They turn your crash into cash. Only one name on the injury report. That's Josu with a swollen knee. Josu also not available tonight as he picked up 2 yellow cards in the match in New Jersey on Saturday. So Josu a chance to rest his knee while he serves his 1-match suspension.
I think tonight, Tommy, you're going to look for this. Obviously, this game, these points mean a lot for both teams. I know Ottawa are in a little bit of transition with a new coach, interim coach at that. FC Cincinnati coming off 2 games that were kind of not going to game plan, conceding some goals, but back at home tonight. And hopefully we'll see 3 points for FC Cincinnati.
Golden opportunity for the orange and blue to pick up 3 points tonight, and then they do not play again until September 2nd here at Nippert Stadium. That'll be their biggest stretch of rest all season long. Allen's already told the team they have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off to rest, and hopefully with a big smile on their face following a victory tonight.
Yeah, I mean, rest is crucial this time of the year. I talked to Alan during the week about it. You know, they had a magnificent run in the Cup, which just adds some games, and that is very tolling physically, but also mentally too. So what always is a tight schedule with USL, those added Cup games have definitely heightened kind of the work rate, and I'm sure that rest is going to be very needed and welcomed by the players.
Any of the built-in rest in the USL schedule was wiped out by the Cup run. FC Cincinnati playing 6 matches in that magnificent run that ended last Tuesday to New York Red Bulls here at Nippert Stadium, and really they had 7 games on the schedule because they had to go to Miami twice, so that travel added to the load as well. Throw-in coming in the attacking third for Ottawa. Howarth fires it inside the 18. Tattersall will blow the whistle, and FC Cincinnati will pick up a foul inside the 18 and push it the other way. Tonight's keys to the match are brought to you by your Tri-State Chevy dealers, and as the orange and blue try to regroup, what do you have tonight, Kevin?
Well, they've got to improve defensively, right? They can't concede goals. Obviously, this is something that Allen's probably preached since those last 2 USL games, and then they've got to grind out that, you know, it's that mentality. They have to grind it out. If it's a difference of 1 or 2 goals in the game, then so be it. It's not going to be flashy and so exciting, but the result and the points are the most important things.
FC Cincinnati shut out in their last 2 league matches. Great ball from Corbin Bone. Forward for Tyler Polak. Polak looking to center it, put it behind Danny Koenig. Boehner trailing. Couldn't quite get there. Ottawa will clean it up into the midfield, but it's mishit. And the orange and blue will earn a throw-in right at midfield. Sem DeVitt wastes no time.
Gotta say, great energy from both teams, really, Tommy, to start with. Pace is kind of electric.
Delbridge will chip it on to his left to Polak. Great to see Tyler Polak back. Hasn't played since July 15th when he was hurt at Louisville in the first half. Missed 5 USL games and 2 Cup games, so out a little bit over a month. Took his time getting that knee back and healthy enough to be part of the starting 11 tonight.
I think the great thing with Tyler too, he's naturally left-footed, gives, you know, obvious width, but he's got a dangerous delivery, playing in that wing-back position tonight, and hopefully something that plays into FC Cincinnati's game plan is get the ball wide into him and provide service for this guy, Donnie Koenig.
DeVitt got it into Koenig, but the flag went up near side. Offside will be the call. And back to Ottawa. Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by UC Health. Talk about the energy and the work rate of Danny Koenig. We saw it last Tuesday when he got the start against New York Red Bulls, had the assist on the early goal off the foot of Corbin Bone, and he's someone when he's in there is constantly grinding, trying to create those scoring opportunities.
I think you're starting to see a little bit of healthy competition too in practice between himself and GB. You know, they work well as a partnership, but anytime that the coach is going to go with a single forward in his lineup, then it becomes a little bit of natural competition between the both of them. So be interesting to see what he does tonight with the start.
Andrew Wiedemann was battling up the right side. Advantage was given, and then once Wiedemann, who celebrated his 28th birthday yesterday, lost control of the ball, the whistle was blown, and Tattersall will mark the spot for Kenny Walker to put it back into play.
Just looking at this Ottawa team too, you know, FC Cincinnati have got to be very creative with their attacks and their set pieces. Ottawa are very strong on the other side of it in attack, but defensively too, some big guys. They're very comfortable in the air.
Pollock with his left foot. DeVitt knocked it down onto the foot of Hoyt, who fired a shot. It was deflected in the box. McElhenney got a foot on it, or his shin on it, I believe. And Ottawa wins it back in the midfield as Harrison Delbridge looks to get back defensively. Dos Santos will knock it out wide to the right. Then looking to get it back, Matt Boehner did well to get in the way, and the ball will skip just inside the flag. Ottawa will earn the first corner kick of the night.
Yeah, no, and you know, Dos Santos, I think it was maybe Hayworth on that far right-hand side too. Very equipped players, very dangerous in the counter-attack. Big scoring threats for Ottawa this season. So FC Cincinnati have got to pick up in those transitional moments.
Corner will come from the far side. It is brought to you by the Levy Law Offices. Turn your crash into cash. Visit LevyLawOffices.com today. Sem DeVitt has it come off his head. Then Wiedemann will come over to try to keep it in play. Does just that. But into the midfield where the Fury will regain possession. Walker comes over, deflects it out, throw-in coming for Ottawa. And you talked about the pace here early. We're scoreless in the 7th minute. This is exactly what Allen expected to see from Ottawa, coming out of the locker room, battling and giving it all they can.
Certainly in the preparations, I think FC Cincinnati being warned and prepared the right way. You know, Ottawa, we talked about it earlier, they have a lot to prove tonight as well in search of those points. As far as style, I think they're gonna make it very, very tough. They're gonna make it very physical for this FC Cincinnati team. And really, you can't take a play off. You know, I mean, it's any moment. If it's a set piece, open play. We've already seen the kind of direct style from Ottawa. So it's definitely going to be a test tonight.
Walker intercepts the pass in the midfield. Then McLaughlin has it taken off of his foot by Sergio Manicio. Manicio will turn it around and slow it down. Back to McElhenney. And now all the way back to the goalkeeper, Callum Irving. 1.27 goals against average this season. Ottawa, of course, a team that came over from the NASL along with Tampa Bay coming into the 2017 season, and hence the first ever meeting between these two clubs. Walker will switch sides of the pitch and send it over to McLaughlin in the 8th minute. Delbridge back to the near side. DeVitt.
Already just see here this back line pushed very high for Ottawa. Trying to make space very compact in front. Not necessarily pressing, but they're going to wait for the right times and then press in that middle zone.
Very similar styles between these two clubs, where they're going to drop 5 to that back line, falling in defensively.
Yeah.
Wiedemann finds Boehner over to McLaughlin. I don't know that he was expecting the pass. Tried to adapt, could not. Ottawa will play it out into the midfield.
Certainly think you'll see a lot of similarities, Tommy, in the setup in the formation. I think the biggest difference kind of will be the style of play within that.
Gerardo Bruna working in the middle, getting defensive pressure from Corbin Bone. Comes off of his foot, and McLaughlin picked it up. Looked like he had a run building. Broken up by Ottawa. Pollock working on the left, back to Delbridge. We mentioned Dos Santos a few times. If that name is familiar, it's because he spent the last two seasons, with the Rochester Rhinos, was with that championship team alongside Pat McMahon in 2015, and then of course played here against FC Cincinnati last year. 48 appearances, 17 goals in his 2 years with the Rhinos.
Yeah, dangerous player.
Dangerous pass in the midfield as it's turned over onto the foot of Sione. Sione rips a shot from 25 yards away, but Justin Hoyt, playing in the middle of the three center backs tonight, finds the deflection.
I think the difference in stats too, Tommy, I think you'll see more of a patient build-up with FC Cincinnati. I think Ottawa are going to be very direct with it. Kind of higher pace maybe with their movement and their decisions to go forward.
Boehner touches it into the middle to Walker.
Great ball.
Over to the left where he finds Pollock. Has a little space, sends it towards the 18. May have been just slightly deflected on the way. Didn't quite find Koenig. Dos Santos looks to turn it the opposite direction. Feeds it out wide for Campbell, the Jamaican product. Andra Campbell, 5'10" defender, 7 appearances with the Jamaican national team. Didn't get a chance this week to ask Omar Cummings, but his time frame with Jamaica would have fallen about the same as Omar. So the two of them may have made a few appearances with the Reggae Boys together.
I think you look at this Ottawa lineup too, a lot of international players, a lot of different experienced players as well, playing in different leagues in previous game or previous season, sorry.
Ottawa has a relationship with Montreal Impact in Major League Soccer, but they are not a direct two-team to any MLS side. So there's a few guys on loan with the club from Montreal. Of course, Montreal no longer has a 2 club in the USL. Mitch Hildebrand trying to send it out from the box. Comes off his foot awkwardly, straight up into the air, and Kenny Walker able to turn it forward. And he was fouled on the effort. Ottawa had won the ball back. It's going to come all the way back into the midfield where FC Cincinnati will get a chance for a free kick.
I think just seeing Kenny Walker back in the lineup too, I think it certainly gives a lot of the players around him a lot more trust. He's the type of guy that can pull the strings. For FC Cincinnati, we've already seen it early, just his passing ability of finding wide players, Tyler Pollock, Matt Boehner.
Wasted opportunity there as the pass too heavy goes out far touchline. Ottawa showing patience across the midfield. They're coming off a 1-1 draw against Tampa Bay on Saturday. This has been a 3-match road trip in 8 days for them, one in which they've stayed in the States the entire time. Played Orlando last Wednesday, stayed in Florida and played Tampa on Saturday, then stayed in Florida and flew here to Cincinnati yesterday. Manicio working it out of the left. McElhenney, the native of Northern Ireland, looking it forward to the attacking third. Got it on the foot of Sione. He couldn't keep control of it. FC Cincinnati trying to clear, and Kenny Walker with a nifty move gets it to Danny Koenig. Koenig forward for McLaughlin. He's on, trying to track it down towards the corner. It'll be pushed away, and a throw-in coming for the orange and blue.
Good ball, good early ball by Danny Koenig as well, trying to find his teammate, a player obviously with a ton of energy, Jimmy McLaughlin. This looks like we have a player back here that's down, Tommy, with a bad injury maybe.
Certainly not quick back to his feet. I believe it's Campbell that stayed down. The medical staff has not yet been called on. It is indeed Campbell. And now he's going to be, let's see if he's instructed to leave the pitch. His play was stopped. FC Cincinnati was looking to get a quick throw in deep in their attacking third. Get another look at that's not a lot of contact there.
Not for the dramatics that followed, I don't think.
Campbell stayed down and honestly was motionless.
Yeah.
For probably 60 seconds as he awaited for Eric Tattersall to make his way down. Tyler Pollock will come over and take the throw in on his natural left side as we roll into the 15th minute, scoreless in Nippert Stadium. Pollock has it poked right away and will get another chance to throw it in. have yet to see either side with a great scoring opportunity. McLaughlin into the box just over the head of Andrew Wiedemann.
I think you said it right, Tommy. I think a lot of the plays just being past that, or just in front of that last defender. Either team really hasn't been able to break down and, penetrate. But it's certainly been physical and it's certainly fast, to start with.
Long ball off the head of Sem DeVitt, knocked down. Walker was trying to play it back to Boehner. It scooted past him, and then DeVitt and Boehner will try to keep it in unsuccessfully. Ottawa wastes no time on the throw-in. Sione into the middle. Onto the foot of Dos Santos, trying to get it into the 18. Deflected away, comes back to him. Now into the box. Sione with a shot, and the flag was up. Offside is the call. No goal.
Just see again in that play, though, just very vigorous in their attack, very direct, almost kind of bulldozer mentality where it's not going to be as crafty, but they're certainly going to make their point and try to penetrate that way.
9 goals this season between Dos Santos, who has 4, and Sione, who took the shot there with 5. Goal not allowed, and we are scoreless in the 16th minute. Tom Glenner, Kevin McCloskey, Lindsey Patterson, happy to be with you. Another great crowd on hand. They're expecting the final attendance number around 20,000 tonight, which is pretty good considering school back in session in the tri-state area. Wiedemann swinging out wide to the left.
Good early ball again. FC starting to find a lot of success on this left-hand side. Seems to be a lot of space for McLaughlin and Pollock to run into.
Pollock with a good ball to get around a defender, then scoots it towards the box. And it's knocked out far touchline. Throw-in coming for the orange and blue.
Tyler does great here. Little heavy touch, but it gets away with it. Then a little nutmeg to come up. Just unlucky, lost his footing. But again, dangerous on that left-hand side.
Boehner on to Walker. Now Wiedemann, back to Boehner.
Brilliant so far again with Kenny Walker, just bringing other players in. Very comfortable, kind of combining in tight situations.
Bone will slide it back to Delbridge. Wiedemann. Bone off to his right, Walker.
Good patience.
Walker tried to find Koenig right about the spot. Ottawa able to intercept it. Justin Hoyt recovers in the midfield. Bone and Walker mistime the pass. Ottawa regains possession.
So far, just even with the same kind of formations, it seems like at least both teams are kind of pressing in the middle, leading to a lot of turnover. I would say at this point, Tommy, I'd say FC Cincinnati have the better possession, clean possession at least.
Delbridge with a big run, left it for Pollock. Now Harrison will retreat to his center back position, while the midfielders knock it around. Boehner back to DeVitt. DeVitt got it forward for Koenig, turned away by Ottawa. Then Dos Santos uses his size to knock the ball off Wiedemann. Kenny Walker, a little bit of frustration there, going back for it. Knocked down Dos Santos. Foul was called on Kenny Walker.
I think Kenny certainly gets some of him here. He's not too happy with that first foul maybe on Wiedemann. Comes across and just a little bit of retaliation, but just sticking up for his teammate, looked like.
Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by your local Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Volkswagen dealers. McElhenney back to his goalkeeper. Now he'll get it on the near side, the native of Derry, Northern Ireland. Youth product with Derry City. Onto the near side, Wiedemann. Koenig retreating to get onside. Wiedemann across into the middle. Fell between McLaughlin and Koenig. McElhenney battling to try to get it back. McLaughlin keeps it alive in the attacking third. Walker into the box to Boehner. Flag went up. And possession back to Ottawa.
Talking about McElhenney playing for Derry City is an interesting fact for you. They actually play in the Republic of Ireland's league, the League of Ireland. So there's a league, there's two leagues, the one in the north and obviously the one in the south. So it's just kind of interesting.
Create a bit of a rivalry playing in the
very good
Southerns
team. Derry
league.
City, they've produced a lot of good young players that went over and played in the Premiership in England, and obviously have stayed in the League of Ireland or the Irish League.
24-year-old Callum Irving with a big boot, 3/4 of the way down the pitch. Bone had it one back. He came to Pollock, and Hildebrand will be quick to send it out far side, but Ottawa will earn a throw-in inside their attacking third. So Corbin Bone there. Looks like he got a fresh do, sticking with the blonde look.
I recommended somebody for him to. So
a lot of talk of haircuts lately.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Fury with the throw-in into the box, headed away by Delbridge. Comes out to McElhenney. Delbridge cleared away into the midfield. Danny Koenig able to win it, keep possession.
As always, working hard. Never gives up.
McLaughlin slides it on to the right to Boehner. Back to DeVitt, and now Bone.
It's been positive, I think, Tommy. This next thing is just breaking that line. You talked about no team really getting a clean opportunity to score. FC Cincinnati have had the better possession, but this is one of the few times they got behind them.
Wiedemann into the box. Koenig got his head on it, and a good look there, just not quite enough direction to put it on frame.
Probably the best look getting into this dangerous position behind the line. Nice little lofted ball up. Just a little bit too high for Danny Koenig. Just couldn't redirect it into the goal.
First really strong opportunity of the night for the orange and blue as Callum Irving gets set for the goal kick. Want to quickly say congratulations to Kate Solomon, on staff at FC Cincinnati 3 weeks ago, or 2.5 weeks ago really, gave birth to her son Jack.
Awesome.
Kate, Stu, Jack all doing well at home watching the broadcast tonight. So congratulations to the Solomon family. I saw a picture of Jack. Cute little kid.
That's
strong
awesome.
name. So
congrats.
Kate, hope all is well back at home, and congratulations on the birth of your son Jack. 23rd minute, Tom Glader, Kevin McCloskey, Lindsey Patterson, happy to be with you here on a perfect sun-splashed evening at Nippert Stadium. Scoreless in the first ever meeting between FC Cincinnati and Ottawa. Interesting to note, the orange and blue, Kevin, all-time undefeated against teams from Canada. 5-0-0 in 2 years of existence against clubs from up north. Can they make it 6-0-0? Certainly a must-win tonight for Alan Koch and his lads.
Good combination play again.
Walker has the ball deflected out near side. Boehner quickly to throw it in onto the foot of DeVitt.
So looks like Corbin Bone and Kenny Walker very comfortable in these central positions tonight.
Danny Koenig getting tangled up with Gerardo Bruna in the midfield. Koenig will be called for the foul. Ottawa will get a chance to tee it up and push their possession right to left. Ottawa 7-8-7 on the season, 11th currently in the East. And here's a look.
In that position, number 9, you've got to be physical too, and there's times that you've got to use your arms. That on that occasion, obviously a foul, but certainly some great grit and determination in his play.
Harrison Delbridge is taken down hard in the midfield, grabbing his right ankle. It certainly appears there may be discipline here. Eric Tattersall
reaching for his pocket.
Reaching for his pocket, and there will be a yellow card issued on the tackle. That took down Harrison Delbridge. It was Sergio Manicio, number 28, on the tackle. Let's take another look at it, Kevin.
Caught him
Put his
with.
boot, yeah.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing there, he just goes with his kind of studs in first, catches Harrison. That's going to be certainly a sore, probably next 2 or 3 minutes for Harrison Delbridge. Try to run that off.
4th yellow card on the season for Minicio, the native of Angola, who played 250 miles up the road at Cleveland State the last 4 years. So he's 1 away from an accumulation suspension. Sam DeVitt, who sat out the New York Red Bulls game on Saturday, back out there tonight after he picked up a red card at Louisville City. He has 4 yellow cards on the season, so he's 1 away from accumulation suspension as well. He is the only FC Cincinnati player in danger right now, as Kenny Walker spent his accumulation suspension this past Saturday. Let's head down to the pitch, check in with the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Lindsey Patterson.
Yeah, guys, we've heard a lot about playoff seeding in the last couple weeks. Coach Alan Koch said the goal is just getting to the playoffs. It doesn't matter where you're seated, to be honest. I've been playing in this game a long time, playing in the USL. It doesn't make much of a difference if you're hosting or playing on the road.
Well, for FC Cincinnati, obviously, home field advantage has been big over the last 2 years. They would love to be at home, but first and foremost, get into the playoffs and then figure it out. Last year, Alan Koch took Vancouver Whitecaps 2 to the Western Conference Finals as the 7th seed.
Yeah, and last year's playoff, game was at home, which wasn't successful. So, no, he's absolutely right. I mean, just getting there is the hardest part. You want to make sure, of course, anytime that you get home field advantage, it's great, but you want to make sure that you put yourself in a position that you can go on, and finishing on top of it, that is the most important thing.
Dos Santos was dribbling in reverse, and then with a bicycle kick, sent it out across midfield.
Shows the strength and just skill of Dos Santos too. Gonna hold that player off.
Howarth sent it into the box, tried to connect with Jamar Dixon. It slid just past him, and Mitch Hildebrand able to come over and scoop it up. Talk about some of the heavy legs for FC Cincinnati and the guys who played a lot of minutes with the added cup matches over the course of the season, as Koenig tries to make a run into the 18.
He's got to be careful in this.
He's trying. Yeah, he's already been called for a foul once tonight.
Yeah.
Eric Tattersall may be putting him into the book here. We will see.
He's got to be careful, especially just for that last foul that happened 2 or 3 minutes ago. Similar situation where he's trying to, chase down a defender, get the ball back. Just that little push there, that's, really a bookable offense.
Tied up there with Ramon Del Campo, who's having a long conversation with Eric Tattersall.
I think he's lucky enough to get away with that, Tommy.
Don't want to see your striker booked in the first half, let alone it would be the 4th on the season for Danny, so that would put him in danger of the accumulation suspension, headed down this crucial home stretch for the orange and blue. Kenny Walker tapping in the direction of Wiedemann. Ottawa able to recover in the midfield. Tyler Pollock looking for it on the far side. Delbridge comes over.
Well played.
To knock it down. Hoyt out into the midfield where Ottawa wins it back. Kenny Walker has other plans. McLaughlin showing off his speed. Pushes it onto the right. Wiedemann. Try to get it back to McLaughlin. Walker will come over to recover. McLaughlin to the left. Delbridge with a huge left-footed shot, and it catches the woodwork from 30 yards out.
What an effort that was, Tommy.
Big round of applause for the big Aussie after he nearly tallied the first goal of the match.
He's a big positive first touch, and what a hit.
Wow.
Goalkeeper doesn't see that coming at all. Fantastic strike with his left foot. Great effort.
Meanwhile, corner kick coming, brought to you by the Levy Law Offices, where they turn your crash into cash. Visit LevyLawOffices.com today. Tyler Pollock will trot over to take it with his left foot. In the 30th minute, we are scoreless. Delbridge nearly made it 1-0 moments ago. He's forward for the set play, as is Sem DeVitt. Polak on the service. Koenig gets his head on it, and it goes just wide. Good defense there by Del Campo to not give him a good look.
Good defender by Del Campo. I think the ball in by Tyler Pollock, but it's fantastic. Picks that target out at the back post. Just far enough away from the goalkeeper. Just bends this to the top of the 6. Just unlucky that he couldn't get it on frame. Biggest thing, Tommy, I feel the energy. I'm sure you can see it, obviously, at home, but you know, both sides of the ball, FC Cincinnati players are working very hard. You know, you've got a lot of players out there with energy. Jimmy, Weida, Danny Koenig, Boehner, Tyler Pollock. You know, they're the type of players that they're not going to give up on these plays. Doesn't matter if it happens or not. You know, they're going to get back. They're going to work hard for you. Going to give you an honest effort.
It was a concise and inspired message from Alan Koch before the match. McLaughlin trying to track it down. Del Campo there defensively broke it up. Then Polak making a long run trying to get to it. Meanwhile, Sione is down for Ottawa in the midfield. Kenny Walker goes over to check on the forward out of Miami, Florida, and the medical staff will be called out for Cito Sione. Tyler Polak had gone down for a moment. Let's take a look back and see what happened. Walker and Sione. Oh, yeah, they caught knees, it looked like, right?
I think he actually landed with his foot. I think he might have caught him on the wrist of the arm there.
Yeah, they are looking at his right wrist. Good eye there, Kevin.
Sione, very important player, obviously leading goal scorer for Ottawa as well. Just get tangled up here, and I think he just lands. Yeah, you can see it right there.
Right there on the inside of his elbow. Cito Sione getting extended attention from the medical staff right out at midfield. I was going to ask you, Tyler Polak played now 30 minutes. Looks very good, not rusty since being out since July 15th.
Yeah, I've been impressed with his performance so far. Tommy, I was very impressed before he got injured. Honestly, I thought he had a great run in the season, unfortunately with that injury, but looks like he's rehabbed well. He looks fit. You know, whether or not he can last the full 90 tonight, obviously they've got to monitor like game fitness a little bit. But so far, I think it's been good. It's also adds that extra balance in your lineup with the left-footed player playing on that side. So it's definitely good to see him out there.
Couple of options if Alan Koch decides he cannot go the full 90 tonight, as we see Cito Sione coming off to the near side. Assuming he is cleared to return, he'll have to wait a moment until he's signaled back in by the match official. But Kevin Schindler's on the bench. Tyler could come in for Tyler Polak. You also have Austin Berry available in the 18 on the bench. If he came in, you could potentially slide Justin Hoyt out to that wing position. But
I think Alan's got some good options tonight. Some other guys in the attack that got dropped as well. You know, he's got choices that he can change it, but you know, this is the role of a squad, you know. Things aren't working
Kyle
well.
Gregg in the squad today, as you mentioned, available to come in at striker if needed.
And sometimes it's out of competition, sometimes the change is based on tactics, right? It kind of works both ways.
Foul is called on Ottawa, and Eric Tattersall not happy with the comments from Dos Santos after the fact. And Steven Dos Santos, the native of Cape Verde, is going to get a extended conversation with Eric Tattersall. He doesn't want to hear any more talk back.
No. I think, to be fair, I think the referee started well too. He's had a good first half. You know, expecting the physicality of this game, he certainly didn't allow Ottawa to get away with any kind of late hits or kind of second offenses. I think he's called it pretty tight and pretty fair.
McLaughlin up to Boehner. Came off his foot, but right back to number 20. Out wide for Polak. Great service. Danny Koenig buries it. King Koenig gives the orange and blue a 1-0 lead. The service from Tyler Pollock pays off. Koenig has his 9th of the season.
Just another good example. I talked about the physicality here, but just being able to get goal side of this defender. Uses his body really well just to sneak in and turns that right foot into the top corner. What a finish. Goes back to exactly what I said, the style of player that he is as a number 9, Tommy. We're going to get you those gritty goals.
Koenig fired up as the fans on their feet, clad in orange and blue. And FC Cincinnati with a crucial goal to take a first half lead.
What does he do after the goal? Straight back in, he's chasing that next play.
To fit with 2 red jerseys on him, able to get rid of it. McLaughlin looking to turn it forward, send it in the direction of Corbin Bone. Touch was a bit heavy, and it'll be played back to Callum Irving. His pass is intercepted by Pollock. Pollock charging on it, and Irving able to get there first.
Great interception, just unlucky with the weight of that first touch by Tyler Pollock. Just pushes it too far, and Irving's able to collect it.
Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by your Tri-State Chevy dealers. Campbell loses his footing on a foul by FC Cincinnati. Free kick coming for the visitors, 40 yards out.
A little bit of skill by Campbell, just cuts inside. I think it's Kenny Walker, maybe catches him. Dangerous area now. We've not really seen this too much from this Ottawa team, but I'd say a team that's very experienced, but they're, I'd say, deadly on set pieces. They've got some big targets. Certainly very, very dangerous. Interesting to see how we deal with this.
Bruna will take it with his left foot, headed up over the goal. Inside the 18, a nice service there from Gerardo Bruna, but Otto unable to do anything with it. Mitch Hildebrand will see a goal kick. That goal by FC Cincinnati in the 35th minute for Danny Koenig ends a stretch of 215 league minutes without a goal for the orange and blue. Koenig now bookends those 2 goals. He had the goal in stoppage time 3 matches ago at home to get a big draw 2-2 back on August 5th. And now he has the goal to go up 1-0 here.
He's just involved again with that header. So I just, one thing, if I'm Alan, I'll probably talk to him here and say, hey, tone it down a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, very important player, but we can't get you booked. Like you said, he's getting close to that accumulation. You know, in 3 or 4 games, we're going to need you.
You know, Eric Tattersall already has his eye on him.
He's got a big X on his back right now, I can tell you that.
Physicality, something Alan Koch was expecting coming into this match, and I would say that FC Cincinnati has managed it very well here through the first 38 minutes.
Certainly think they've dealt with Ottawa's, you know, physical play very well, and to be honest with you, I think they flipped it and they've been more the aggressor.
Certainly possession in favor of the orange and blue thus far, and where it matters most on the scoreboard, 1-0 FC Cincinnati.
I think so far, Tommy, it's come down to work rate, really. You know, I talked about the desire and the attitude about some of those players that, especially in the attack, you know, the guys that are kind of willing to work hard once they lose the ball, are willing to work hard to get into good positions to create an attack. We've seen that well tonight.
Jonathan Barden, the midfielder out of England, sends it up the right side. Ottawa into the final third. Pollock trying to win it back. Bone comes over for help. Had it. Then it deflects off of FC Cincinnati out along the end line. Ottawa will have their second corner kick of the first half.
I just touched on this, but can't give away too many corner kicks or set pieces. It's a team that scored a lot of their goals this season from set plays.
Bruno will take it to the left of Mitch Hildebrand. Serves it into the box. Hildebrand punches it away. It'll fall to the foot of Dos Santos, who gets a shot off. Hildebrand made the save. Delbridge cleared it. Kenny Walker trying to get it out of there. And finally a goal kick, but a huge save, and then clearance by Harrison Delbridge.
Massive clearance by Harrison Delbridge. I think Mitch tries to, maybe he's in 2 minds to push it over. or to catch it as this ball comes in. Again, physical play, going up for these 50-50 balls. Mitch is recovering back here, he's just not set. And what a clearance there by Harrison Delbridge.
First Mitch said no, then Harry said no, and it stays 1-0. And I said it was Dos Santos, I'm sorry, it was Howarth, the forward who took that big shot from the near side of the 18. Danny Koenig called for a foul, and quick conversation they were there at Tedder, so I didn't see what the stoppage was for that time. Bailey into this one. They understand the importance of 3 points tonight for the home side. Delbridge wins the ball on the touchline. Sends it out into the midfield as Koenig will try to chase it down. Del Campo is there as well, and he touches it back to his goalkeeper.
He's got to be careful he doesn't burn himself out, unless the message has been, hey, you know, go out for 60 minutes or 50 minutes and work as hard as you can. He's got to pick and choose his times, when to press and when to chase down those runners. He has to recognize the situation. He's 1 against 3 or 1 against 4. It's not worth his while.
I think the way his motor works,
it doesn't.
He's going to chase those 1v3s, 1v4s.
Oh, it is for sure. I mean, it's trying to analyze the game to kind of make better decisions, but it's also part of his makeup, and we've seen it before already. It creates so many positives.
Bruna working along the back to Del Campo. Ramon Martin Del Campo, the native of Mexico, signed this season to join the Fury. Delbridge trying to win it. Sione keeps it alive, and then DeVitt comes over to make the defensive play. Here comes McLaughlin the other way off the touch from Koenig. McLaughlin into the box. McLaughlin! The Penn Messi has done it! 42nd minute strike for Jimmy McLaughlin!
I think, Tommy, here the most impressive thing, obviously this little dummy, but the amount of space that Jimmy McLaughlin has to cover. There's a player that's breathing down his neck. He has the composure to look up and could finish into the bottom corner. Not easy to travel 60 yards with pressure and be able to finish that. Fantastic.
4th on the season for Jimmy McLaughlin, and he seals it with one of his signature celebrations. 2-0, orange and blue. That'll give FC Cincinnati a little momentum going into the dressing room. 43rd minute. We're going to see a little bit of stoppage time, no doubt. And Ottawa trying to regroup now, down 2 on the road.
Be interesting now to see Ottawa with this team of, you know, a lot of change obviously with the coach, how they react. They've been on the road, playing a tough opponent with Tampa Bay this last game. Interesting to see how they obviously play out the rest of this half and what they adjust in the second half.
Julian de Guzman was named the interim head coach 8 days ago. Hey, here's a team, go on the road for 8 days and play 3 road matches.
Try to get results from it, right?
Well, a loss in his debut, a draw at Tampa on Saturday, 1-1, and now his club battling from behind with possession in the midfield.
I think it's always tough too, Tommy, when you're set up to play very physically and you're not affecting your opponent that well. They have to have a plan B. They have to have a plan C. And I think so far, FC Cincinnati have been able to deal with the physicality well and really control the game.
How about the 2-goal swing there on the big shot by Howarth, where Hildebrandt makes the initial save, then Delbridge clears it off the line, and then moments later at the other end, McLaughlin makes it 2-0.
Fantastic. Goes back to focus and attitude. We saw it with Danny Koenig and Jimmy. The 2 goal scorers, honestly, defensively, have worked their socks off. So they're doing the dirty work. It's not just to, get into positions and celebrate once they score.
McLaughlin with another opportunity inside the 18. 2 defenders on it. Turns, gets a shot. It's deflected and cleared away by Ottawa. But another great run and a good look there for number 20.
Okay, good run in, a good ball. Jimmy McLaughlin does well. I think he does the first couple of steps well, Tommy. Takes a pass. I think he maybe could have taken another little small touch just to turn that defender. Would have had a better angle for a shot.
He had Koenig there on support. Tried to get it off. Not quite, but FC Cincinnati has looked very good here in the first half. We are into stoppage time. 3 minutes signaled by the 4th official. McLaughlin pushes it onto his right. Wiedemann. Back to McLaughlin. Over to Wiedemann, just outside the 18. Stops it on the end line. Wiedemann into the middle. Kenny Walker will strike it with his left foot. It's turned away. McLaughlin couldn't get to it. Back to Walker. Out to Bone. Onto the left, Polak.
Another impressive thing is just getting these numbers forward, Tommy, too. Being able to play because they have options, more numbers to combine. Trying to find players in pockets of space.
Bone across the middle. Koenig whiffs on it. Boehner tried to pick it up on the end line. Corner kick coming for FC Cincinnati. Ottawa touched it last.
If I'm Alan Koch right now, I don't want this half the end, right? They have momentum. We've seen this before in previous games. You kind of want the time to go on in case you can sneak another goal.
Well, another one here on the set piece would certainly be huge. This is something the club stresses in training during the week and certainly in their pre-match meeting 90 minutes before the first touch. See what Tyler Polak can do. He's been strong here in the first half. Polak with his left. Plays it short. Wiedemann got a piece of it. Ottawa turned it away.
Well played again. Good decision by Tyler Polak.
Wiedemann will send it into the middle, right into the chest of Irving. Callum Irving with a big boot again out across midfield. No lack of strength in his right leg.
No, precision too, actually very accurate pass.
Delbridge's run is stopped as a foul is called. Maybe lost possession for a split second and Eric Tattersall blew the whistle. Got about 1 minute of stoppage time remaining. The orange and blue with 2 goals in a matter of 7 minutes to take the advantage. Koenig in the 35th minute, McLaughlin in the 42nd. Boehner knocked it down. Wiedemann was trying to track it. McElhenney found it first.
Right now you're just seeing FC Cincinnati's forward 3. Wiedemann, Danny Koenig, Jimmy McLaughlin are really starting to test this back 3 of Ottawa, causing them all sorts of problems.
Hildebrand out into the midfield. The whistle sounds from Eric Tattersall in the first half. Has come to a close here at Nippert Stadium. A 2-0 advantage for FC Cincinnati. All of our sideline reports are brought to you by your local Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Volkswagen dealers. Let's head downstairs and check in with Lindsey Patterson, who has Alan Koch.
Coach, up 2 goals in the first half. I hear you telling the guys, keep it going, keep it going. How do they keep with it in the second half?
Obviously got to put in the same sort of effort we put in the first 45 minutes. That took a huge effort from the guys. It's what we required to be successful in games like this against good teams like Ottawa. Ottawa's a good team. I think thankfully we shut them down for the most part and we capitalized on our chances. So that 45 minutes was a little bit more of what we're like, and we got to go out and do the exact same thing in the second half.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you, Lindsey. Certainly a fantastic 45 minutes from Alan Koch and FC Cincinnati to take the 2-0 advantage. A beautiful night for soccer here in the Queen City, and the fans happy with what they have seen. Jimmy McLaughlin dancing the orange and blue on top by a pair. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. FC Cincinnati striker GB made his presence felt in the Queen City right away, scoring 4 goals in the club's home opener. Tonight, the opportunity to get to know number 9 in orange and blue.
I'm so happy to be in Cincinnati FC because I feel like I'm playing Europe, because every time we play home, we have more than 20,000 people around. So, and from this, I just say thank you for God. You know, this gives you a lot of experience, you know, and to learn a lot from the people, you know, from the culture, from the another country, and so also it's a new experience. I get it. So I'm so happy to be here. I think they're so proud of me, you know. I mean, I'm so happy. I help a lot for them, and I make easily their life and also my life. So, and all this I get it by football. When I come here, I meet one single family from Senegal. You know, they live here in Cincinnati since a long time ago. I'm just so lucky because, like this, you football player, you feel comfortable, and when you feel comfortable, yeah, you can play good.
Straight into the air. Harrison Delbridge is the big target. Up to GB. He shoots and he scores! GB has his second goal of the first half. It's Kenny Walker. And GB's calling for it. On to Walker, and GB has his 4th of the night. Are you kidding me? Welcome to Cincinnati, GB.
We are together. We play together. We play like a team. You know. I cannot score 4 goals alone, you know. It was a lot of work between all the players together. So for me, yeah, it was something amazing because people still remember. But for me, the most important thing was how he was playing and how he was sharing this win with our fans. You know, this game, it was so special for the club, for the city, you know. Because we was playing against one team from Ohio, close to us, and this team playing MLS. We know the level they have, and he's the 2nd year for FC Cincinnati. You know, you can see around the fans in the stadium. They was so emotional. They was so excited. You know, all of them. So, and when I scored the goal, when I see all this around, yeah, it was giving me a lot of emotion. You know, because I was see, okay, not only GB, but all my team. We make all the city, all these 30,000 people happy and proud of them. And this gives a lot of emotion. That's what I say. Our fans, they're just amazing, you know. They are here for us, and we're going to fight for them, and also for the people who like FC Cincinnati.
FC Cincinnati striker GB made his presence felt in the Queen City right away, scoring 4 goals in the club's home opener. Tonight, the opportunity to get to know number 9 in orange and blue.
I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
James Outland and Morgan Copes from the leadership of Birmingham, Alabama's 2019 USL expansion side recently visited the league offices. Announced as the first expansion team for 2019, Outland and Copes share in the excitement as the club begins to work towards its inaugural season.
Well, first and foremost, I think we're going to have a great product. We're going to have a professional environment. We're going to have a competitive team, and not just competitive, we want to win. So I think the competition and the level of play on the field is going to be top-notch, and I think the experience at the stadium and for the fans is going to be equally impressive.
What excites me about being in the USL in 2019 is it's a dream come true. I mean, this is something that, you know, there's a group of guys and individuals who have put a lot of time, a lot of blood, sweat, tears, you know, everything you can think of from a grassroots perspective, startup. You know, to see it come to fruition, you know, when this whole thing really kind of started from, you know, just a couple beers at a local brewery. This whole idea, to see it come to fruition, it's going to be incredible.
What excites us about joining the USL is, first, Birmingham needs a professional sports team, and we think soccer is the ideal sport for Birmingham. It's a great growing sport across the country. And as importantly, the USL has really been a successful league. They've done a phenomenal job. We've done our research. We've been working on this for over 2 years now. And we really chose the USL because we think it's the best league and one of the best sports in the world. And we think Birmingham is primed to become a great professional soccer town.
It's going to be a fun, fast, exciting atmosphere. I mean, the game of soccer itself is always, you know, very exciting, you know, to watch live, just because of the speed of play, the physicality, the toughness that goes into it. But, you know, I also think we're going to have a great, fun family atmosphere.
Well, it's been a great opportunity to come and get better familiarized with the people behind the league, and get to meet the folks that we work with on a weekly and ongoing basis, and really get our ducks in a row and be ready to launch for our 2019 beginning of the season.
The wealth of knowledge, the information, and just the organization around the entire organization itself is incredible. The professionalism is second to none. And, you know, I'm excited about getting to meet the people and put faces to names. There's an old quote, you know, nobody cares what you know until they know you care. So I really look forward to establishing those relationships with league officers and just the people in and around here.
For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Find fun activities to do, like boating and biking, or camping and hiking, plus much more. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.
Tom Glenner, Kevin McCloskey back with you at Nippert Stadium, where we are at the half. FC Cincinnati leading the Ottawa Fury 2-0. A very solid first 45 minutes from Alan Koch's troops. As we take a look at the first half highlights, they are delivered by PapaJohns.com. Good news, when FC Cincinnati scores twice, you win. Half Price Pizza's online tomorrow. Code FCPizza50. And that code will be active. FC Cincinnati came out after Ottawa had an early scoring opportunity, waved off because of offside, and suddenly all the opportunities started flowing in the other direction, Kevin.
Yeah, I think possession's been good for FC Cincinnati. Here's an opportunity. Wiedemann gets in behind and just scores it back. Danny Koenig just unlucky to get it on frame, but certainly more opportunities arose as time went on. This was this great effort from Harrison Delbridge, left-footed strike off the crossbar. Just drifts a little bit past the goalkeeper. And then Tyler Pollock puts in a great ball, and we talked about Danny Koenig and his willingness to be gritty and determined, and opens the scoring for FC Cincinnati.
That was the 9th on the season for Koenig. Yet moments later, Ottawa, on this ball that came out to Howarth, nearly tied it, but it was number 1 and number 4 coming up big.
Yeah, big time clearance from Harrison Delbridge off that line. Changes again. This is the second goal. Jimmy McLaughlin does fantastic. Takes big touches, looks up after covering a lot of ground, and finishes into the bottom corner.
Put it far post, tacked on the celebration for good measure, and FC Cincinnati with a 2-0 advantage. Stats from the first half: shots in favor of FC Cincinnati, only 2 though on target. They both have found the back of the net, possession a bit in favor, and we knew it was going to be physical. We've seen a good number of fouls, but nothing egregious.
No, I think for the most part, I think the referee's done a good job. I certainly think possession has been, for the most part, in Cincinnati's favor, and I think obviously scoring those 2 opportunities has been the biggest difference in the game so far.
Third member of our broadcast team is Lindsey Patterson. She was in the locker room and is now back down on the sideline.
Yeah, guys, I just left about 3 minutes ago, and the first thing I hear, a lot of communication between the players. Alan Koch told him, great job managing those situations. Same thing in the second half. He knows Ottawa's going to pick up that tempo. Don't overplay it. We scored 2 goals getting behind them. Great job getting behind. That's how you set up for success. The upcoming schedule is brought to you by Audi Cincinnati, bringing you the ultimate Audi experience on Beachmont Avenue. September 2nd, a 4 o'clock match right here at Nippert Stadium versus Pittsburgh. Tuesday match September 12th against Harrisburg City. Then home sweet home September 16th versus Red Bulls 2.
All right, thank you, Lindsay. Of course, all of her sideline reports are brought to you by your local Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Volkswagen dealers. You see Danny Koenig there, a productive first half with a goal and an assist for Danny Koenig here. That very slight touch to Jimmy McLaughlin on his goal in the 42nd minute. Remember, McLaughlin set up the ball out wide to Tyler Pollock, and you talked about it at the end of the half. Really, everybody on the home side has been active and a part of the success for the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, definitely, Tom. I think both sides of the ball as well. You know, defensively, they've worked hard. They've kind of pressed. They've counter-pressed in certain areas as well, which has led to a lot of attack. And the most impressive thing, I think, you talked about Tyler Pollock and Matt Boehner being, you know, on the left and the right-hand side, being able to get numbers forward.
Substitution for Ottawa. So one change for Julian de Guzman as FC Cincinnati works right to left to start the second half, and continuing the pressure that we saw to end the first half. The substitution, Tucker Hume, came on, the 6'3" forward. So de Guzman deciding he has to make a change and try to make something happen. Corbin Bone, in the meantime, trying to do that for the orange and blue. Bone into the 18, Meg the defender, but couldn't quite slide it into the goal.
Good early start again. Kenny Walker finds him in space. Corbin Bone does well to cut inside and just unlucky.
Hume will get the ball as it bounces by DeVitt. Hoyt back defensively to get the deflection and sends it out wide, but Ottawa nearly answered the other way.
Well, so far, Tom, it's been an identical start really to the first half. Both teams are going very direct. Pace is somewhat frantic. Already we've seen kind of 2 scoring opportunities for both teams.
Certainly the key here for FC Cincinnati not to give Ottawa any momentum after 2 goals in the final 15 minutes of the half made this 2-0. Big stop on the line by Delbridge. Then Hildebrandt with a save. Those 2 team up again.
2 massive saves.
McLaughlin with the speed out across midfield. He is cut down, waving his arms looking for a call. First, let's go back to the defensive saves. Last time it was Hildebrandt, then Delbridge. This time Delbridge, then Hildebrandt.
Starts really with a poor clearance by Tyler Pollock. Drops right to the chest. I think it might have been Dos Santos. Good reactions here from that double save.
2 opportunities at point-blank range as Ottawa knocking on the door, trying to get on the board for the first time tonight. Kenny Walker is knocked down by Dos Santos as there was contact with Walker's face. And Dos Santos is going into the book in the 48th minute. Second yellow card on the season for Steven Dos Santos. Second yellow card of the day issued to Ottawa. Walker is up off the ground. Dos Santos not happy. We'll get to take another look.
Yeah, Dos Santos shielding the ball, but does push back with his elbow just into Kenny Walker's face. Referee's right there, has a good view of it. I think that's a fair call for a yellow card.
Walker getting some attention from Aaron Powell. Pollock and Alan Koch having a conversation meanwhile on the near sideline. Walker again, if you're just joining us, wearing the captain's armband tonight. Austin Berry not in the starting 11 for Alan Koch. He is available in the 18 and healthy. And look at that. You want to know how much contact was made. You can see blood coming from Kenny Walker's nose. Aaron Powell has had to try to stop the bleeding over there, and Walker has to come out for a moment. In the meantime, he's still directing traffic, a role he's very familiar with in the midfield.
He's been good tonight, Tommy. Like organizing defensively, but especially in attack. I think he sees things well, executes very good decisions. It's been a catalyst and, as you said, a very good leader tonight.
He's going to have to get the blood cleaned up. He can play with the cotton in his nostrils, but
sometimes hard to breathe though.
a lot of mouth breathing.
Yeah.
Coming for number 6. Pollock in the meantime trying to battle as FC Cincinnati playing a man down for the moment. McLaughlin is taken down again. That's going to be a booking. Ottawa is furious as McLaughlin's grabbing his head. Fury needs to be careful here. They don't lose their cool, and they just did. They're going to get one for dissent, I think, as well. Actually, that was Barden who committed the foul, so he picks it up.
Some frustration coming into play here, Tommy. We talked about obviously change anytime that you're on the road, you're not getting the calls. There's definitely a level of frustration. Ottawa can't totally lose discipline here and start getting into the book more often.
For Barden, he's now on an accumulation suspension. That's his 5th of the year. He will not be available on Sunday when this club plays finally back at home against New York Red Bulls 2.
Maybe that's the biggest reason for his frustration too, Tommy. He's claiming that he won the ball.
And Barden's, I mean, you could see, he potentially, that's a dissent if you're not getting one for the foul, potentially, right?
He had a yellow card out, you know. I mean, I can only imagine it was going to Barden initially, but
right.
He certainly got it once he got into the referee's face.
Far side ball from Walker was intended for Delbridge. Foul was committed inside the 18 by FC Cincinnati. Ottawa certainly frustrated with the way this match has gone so far. 51st minute, orange and blue on top, 2-0. Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by the Montgomery Inn. Ball played out across midfield, gets past Semdevitt, collected by Howarth. He'll give it to Campbell, and now Sione sends it inside the 18. His heavy touch goes over everybody, and then Tyler Pollock watches it roll out on the touchline. FC Cincinnati will throw it in inside the defensive third.
See a high press here this time, Tommy, by Ottawa. They certainly have the athleticism to do that. Down 2 goals, they've got to change their game plan a little bit. Try to force the issue some.
Delbridge gets tangled up and called for the foul. And then Tyler Pollock's going to be booked for delay of game, sending the ball in the opposite direction. So a quick card there on Tyler Pollock. For Tyler, that's just his second of the season. Tonight, the 16th start on the year for number 3. That's the foul called on Delbridge. And just out of the frame, Tyler Pollock sent it about 40 yards the other direction. Right. He was booked by Eric Tattersall.
These are the situations, though, Tommy, that FC Cincinnati have to try to avoid. Ottawa are very dangerous, obviously, on set pieces. They can't give him a lifeline or a chance to get back into this game.
Bruno, the specialist, with his left foot, sent it just outside the 6-yard area. Danny Koenig looking to clear it up the right side. Suddenly has 2 red jerseys on him and loses possession. Barden, who was booked moments ago, sends it back towards the 18. Walker clears it out into the midfield. Knocked down by Del Campo. He'll drop it into the middle to Sione. And Ottawa, since coming out of the dressing room, has controlled a majority of the possession. Barden into the 18. Boehner knocked down from behind. That'll be a foul. Dos Santos picks it up. FC Cincinnati 8-9-7, but 6-2-5 here at home, where they are playing tonight and will play again on September 2nd. This will be their longest stretch without a match all season, as they get 4 days off following this one and we get back to training on Monday to get ready for Saturday. Andrew Wiedemann fouled far side by Campbell. Campbell not happy with the call.
I think, and the big thing for FC Cincinnati is that long-awaited rest, Tommy. Obviously, with the Magical Cup run that they've had, for the players and even probably the staff too, are looking forward to some time off.
I know Dan McNally, Vice President of Operations, he's involved with about every minute of this club, whether they're home or away.
Yeah.
He even said he was going to take a few days off this weekend.
Get his nails done, I think, too, right?
Yeah, I don't know. He's, one way or he deserves whatever he wants to do this weekend.
No, massive production, Tommy, from everybody. A lot of people don't see the the behind-the-scenes stuff that go into making Nippert a 35,000-seater packed venue for a game.
Haven't yet seen the attendance number tonight, but the crowd was expected around 20,000. Not bad for a school night on a Wednesday.
Not bad at all.
Here in late August. Good news for the school kids, the next 2 matches are on Saturdays. 4 o'clock on Labor Day weekend Saturday, and then a 7 o'clock in the regular season home finale. Dos Santos gets a shot off, goes wide of Mitch Hildebrandt. No trouble there for FC Cincinnati's goalkeeper, who's made a couple big saves tonight. They're now in the 56th minute. FC Cincinnati on top 2-0, thanks to a goal in the 35th minute from Danny Koenig, then the 42nd minute from Jimmy McLaughlin. Hildebrandt trying to get it into the midfield. Comes off of Campbell, throw-in coming for the orange and blue.
Checking the lineups here, Tommy. Humes come on.
Yep. There's a halftime change
for Dixon, and I think again another big target.
Throw into Wiedemann, who does well staying with it. He is fouled from behind by Campbell, who throws up his arms in frustration. FC Cincinnati, basically a short corner coming here on the restart.
I think Ottawa, just to finish my point with that, with Hume and probably Dos Santos up top, they're probably going to go into almost a 4-4-2 and push their 2 wide players up to almost attack with 4 forwards. Just a sign of a change at halftime and what they're going to try to do to get back into this game.
Polak serves it across with his left foot. Bouncing in the middle. Sam DeVitt finds a piece. It's 3-0. First goal on the season for the defender from the Netherlands. Big hug there between DeVitt and Kyle Gregg. The two came over from Vancouver together. Let's take another look.
It's another example of a dangerous ball in, flick. DeWitt, first guy to react off of the little flick. I think it might have been an Ottawa player, actually. It's the initial touch.
Yeah.
The goalkeeper can't react in time. It's not too many times the center back's going to be in that position to score a goal.
First of the season for DeVitt, second assist of the night for Tyler Polak, and it's 3-0 in the 58th minute. Talk about the set pieces a lot, Kevin. It's not because we're a broken record, but it's something that Alan Koch puts so much emphasis on. And if this result holds, still a lot of time left. That's certainly one of the points where Alan's going to point to a victory tonight, is finishing on the set piece.
I think not even just finishing. I think it's about delivery too, Tommy. I think it's the quality of service. Tyler Polak, as you talked about, you know, guys like Kenny Walker using his right foot as well that provides those opportunities. Being able to put it into dangerous positions, and really just like that goal as well, it's who's willing to react, put their neck on the line, and use their body and sacrifice their body to be the difference in the game. And we've seen that twice tonight.
Well, the Orange and Blues certainly have ended the scoring drought in a big way after 215 minutes without a goal. 3 tonight in their first ever meeting with Ottawa.
The substitution number we're talking about with Hume coming in, big boy.
Poked away by Wiedemann. Ottawa will throw it in near touchline.
It's a threat now. Hume and Dos Santos in the box for these throw-ins. It's going to be a key for Ottawa.
Carl Howarth, who leads the club with 4 assists, will fire it in. Hoyt got his head on it, then a shot taken outside the 18 from Bruna goes wide of Mitch Hildebrandt. 2/3 of the way through, 3-0 in favor of the home lads, searching 3 huge points in the Eastern Conference tonight.
It's kind of assess in Ottawa's body language. They've certainly not thrown the towel in yet. See a 3-0 scoreline. Times some teams just kind of away from home give up a little bit. But certainly in their body language, they're still spirited and ready to fight in this game.
I mentioned earlier, this is an 8-day trip for Julian de Guzman, who is named the head coach and then immediately sent on the road.
You'd have to imagine if FC Cincinnati could get that 4th goal, it would be the killer punch.
Walker was looking for a run there from Danny Koenig, mistimed. Rolled on to Irving. Irving comes on with a respectable 1.27 goals against average on the season, but only saves 65% of the shots. We saw the 2 shots on target in the first half were both goals for FC Cincinnati. Sam DeVitt's going to be called for a foul. Sam here just needs to show the composure, not even have a conversation with Eric Tattersall. And he, with a smile on his face, will trot the other direction. '62nd minute. Free kick coming to Ottawa. It'll come to the right of Mitch Hildebrandt, far side of the pitch. Service sent into the box right into the hands of Hildebrandt. No trouble for the native of Michigan. Throw in for FC Cincinnati after it's touched out by Ottawa. Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by your local Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Volkswagen dealers.
Good ball by Tyler Pollard.
McLaughlin looked like it bounced off Barden there, but Barden will quickly scoop it up and throw it in. I think Dallas Jay's arguing just that.
He's got to be careful. He's had a red card already this season.
Yeah, not quite as heated here in this situation as the one we saw when he picked up a 2-match suspension for voicing his displeasure from the FC Cincinnati bench. Kyle Gregg, who had the big hug for his friend Sem DeVitt after the third goal, has come out to midfield, and he will check in at the next opportunity. That might be the type of thing where we see Danny Koenig come out and Gregg get an opportunity. Delbridge tied up in the box, fighting for that ball, headed it out along the end line. Corner kick coming here quickly for Ottawa. Of course, all of tonight's corner kicks are brought to you in part by the Levy Law Offices. Turn your crash into cash. Visit LevyLawOffices.com today. Service from the near side. Shot to the far corner is buried. Dos Santos took the shot. I think it was deflected as it went in.
Well, we said it about set pieces, Tommy, and finally Ottawa were able to convert on it. Ball comes in. Kenny gets tangled. Dos Santos just turned.
Buried it. Yeah, it wasn't touched.
Good finish into the back post.
By Sione, far post. You see a couple substitutions as well. Steven Dos Santos has his 5th goal on the season. So the clean sheet wiped out for FC Cincinnati and Mitch Hildebrand. And a 2-goal lead now in the 64th minute, and it is not Danny Koenig that is coming out. It is Andrew Wiedemann who will head to the sideline.
So the players kind of huddled together here, and hey, we're fine, right? We've created a lot. Up until that one goal, they've defended well on set pieces. Certainly can't hit the panic button here, because I strongly feel the FC Cincinnati are still in control of this game.
Anuo Obasi, the defender out of England, checks on for Ottawa. Second substitution for the Fury. Great ball to Gregg. Forward, trying to get it to Koenig. Koenig battling along the end line once again. Held off. This time, no foul was called, and a goal kick coming up for Ottawa and Callum Irving.
I think with that sub too, Wiedemann coming off and Gray going on, you're probably just going to see him and Jimmy just underneath Danny Koenig.
Remember just 8 days ago, that Open Cup semifinal here where Wiedemann barely could walk in the 2 extra time sessions. Battled through 120 minutes. So you want to be cognizant of that. The good news is, and you and I alluded to it on the broadcast, is we're going to see a foul here on FC Cincinnati, I believe. No, they're going to call that on Ottawa as the boot came high. You know, we were talking about it in the broadcast. Is it a pulled hamstring? Is Andrew Wiedemann doing further damage where he might be out for extended time? Great to see that wasn't the case.
Right. I think too, just that starting decision, I think, of Wiedemann and McLaughlin together. I think that's 2 players that have a great understanding just underneath Danny Koenig. But Alan making a choice now of again, we talked about performance and competition, a new signing of Gregg, relatively new signing at least, of a guy that can come in that should be hungry, should want to impress, should want to perform. We'll see what he can do the rest of the second half.
And not a substitution where you're taking a forward out for a defender and saying, hey, it's 3-1, let's just sit back. 66th minute here at Nippert. FC Cincinnati's lead now 3-1.
It's another long ball by Ottawa too. Trying to play into Hume, a big target for them. I think as long as FC Cincinnati can keep the ball on the deck and play, I think they're in control of this game. They've got to defend, of course, those aerial battles in defense, but
Bullock lost his footing. Ottawa able to win it back in the defensive third. Dos Santos with the goal tonight, his 15th start. That's his 5th of the year. I talked about the 17 he had in 2 years with Rochester. Certainly a dynamic scorer in the USL. Sem DeVitt heads it out of the 18. Boehner with good footwork. to get away and then send it into the midfield, but Ottawa immediately runs it back. Campbell on the touch. Into the middle. Delbridge clears it away. Barden. Del Campo. Check it. Obasi. Over to the left, Campbell. Campbell centers it. Falls onto the foot of Howarth, who takes a shot. Mitch Hildebrandt read it well, and it came right onto his chest.
We talked about it at that 3-0 stage, Tommy. You know, how would Ottawa react? And, you know, they got that goal to give them some life back, and since then the energy's been good from them. Certainly a difference in style, Tommy. One team being Ottawa that are very more direct and physical. FC Cincinnati, for the most part, have done well of being able to keep to their style and their kind of plan, keeping the ball on the deck and moving in between the lines.
Howarth, just outside the 18, collides with Delbridge. Corbin Bone picks it up and feeds it forward for McLaughlin, pushed out at the last minute by Barden. FC Cincinnati will get a throw in right at midfield.
I think if I'm FC Cincinnati too, just seeing how Barden reacted that last time, I'm going to go at him as much as I can. I'm going to try to find Jimmy McLaughlin in 1v1 positions. You know, Barden's a very physical player, but we've seen he kind of reacted a little bit with frustration too.
Barden and Dos Santos playing on yellows. Seen Andra Campbell, who has the ball in his foot right now. He's been emotional at times tonight. He has a pair of red cards this season. Ottawa, a physical club, and FC Cincinnati knew that coming in. A team that was going to give them everything they had here on the road. End of a 3-match road swing for the visitors. 3rd in 8 days for Ottawa. 3rd match in 9 days for FC Cincinnati when you include the Open Cup loss in the semifinals to New York Red Bulls here at Nippert.
I think one thing, just noticing how Ottawa have been kind of attacking too. You know, that last play, FC Cincinnati, the front three kind of dropped off a little bit and allowed them to play long. I think they've got to press. I think they've got to deny those longer passes at least, especially from the middle third in. You know, if they've been successful in knocking long into Hume, into Dos Santos, they want to try to take away that option and force them to play a little bit more.
Sem de Witt doesn't win the ball. Bruna does. They try to get it back to Bruna, and he got enough of it to try to skirt it by. Actually, that was Hume, I'm sorry. The sub who came on at halftime, Tucker Hume, the 6'5" forward, couldn't slide it past Mitch Hildebrandt. The attendance just announced here at Nippert Stadium tonight. Wednesday night attendance of just 20,058, Kevin.
Tommy, at this point we get used to this, you know.
That's the average on the season, and if you drop that in Major League Soccer today, it would be 11th average attendance for FC Cincinnati. Over 100,000 fans came to the 5 home matches, 30,000, 32,000, and 33,000 for the 3 home cup matches against MLS teams. Don Garber, of course, was here last Tuesday, and have to imagine he left pretty impressed with what he saw.
Right. And I certainly didn't mean to be nonchalant with that last comment that I said, but, you know, credit again, as you said, a school night, a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Youth soccer is back in session, Tommy, too. So to get this
There's a lot of reasons not to be here tonight.
But like I said, I mean, that's a big part of it, the youth movement that's coming in to follow these games with families, and to see that and the attendance tonight is fantastic.
McLaughlin will be called for the foul. Ottawa wanted to see a booking to number 20. That will not be the case. Two Saturday home dates remaining for FC Cincinnati. I don't think there's any question that the season average will be well over 20,000 when the home regular season wraps up. Foul called on Ottawa just outside of the 18. For FC Cincinnati, who put it back into play in the 72nd minute. Tom Glitter, Kevin McCloskey, Lindsey Patterson, happy to be with you. Our producer David Ashbrock doing a great job along with the entire crew tonight. Certainly happy to be with you. We've had great weather. Had a few times we've had to wait so far this summer, but as of late, Beautiful weather last Tuesday for the Open Cup match, and another spectacular night here this evening in Nippert. Boehner trying to push it up the right. Campbell got in the way.
Boehner maybe looking for a foul on that. Campbell might have caught him.
Alan Koch has 2 subs remaining. Julian de Guzman, the interim head coach for the Fury, has 1. Koenig with a nice touch to himself. Over to McLaughlin. Back to Koenig. Cleared away at the last moment by Shane McElhenney. Out on the end line, and a corner kick coming up for FC Cincinnati.
Jimmy was just unlucky with that return pass. His ball comes in. Danny Koenig nutmegs the player. Just lost control, but this little pass by Jimmy almost turns the corner and finds Danny Koenig in space.
See Koenig, maybe a little bit of fatigue setting in as he's been going hard for 73 minutes.
Because he's probably run about 10 miles already, Tommy.
No doubt a big effort tonight from Danny Koenig, a goal and an assist, both in the first half. Polak will try to add to his 2 assists here. 3-1 FC Cincinnati as Polak puts his left foot on it. In the direction of Koenig, didn't get enough of it. Comes out to Polak, who is offside. Flag went up far side of the pitch. All of our sideline reports are brought to you by your local Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Volkswagen dealers. Let's head downstairs and check in with Lindsay.
Yeah, guys, I had the chance to talk to Bengals Carlos Dunlap. He's told me he's all in FC Cincinnati. Actually pushed his flight back out of Cincinnati to make the Chicago match. Has a personalized jersey. Tight end Tyler Eifert said, hey, I'm 6'6". I can play backup out there. Dunlap replied, Mitch says no.
Well, I've seen, I know that many of the Bengals are very into the club. I heard that during one of the Open Cup matches, I think it was the Chicago Fire match, the game was on in the Reds clubhouse after the Reds game.
Nice.
Went final. Carlos Dunlap's been a big supporter since day one, often in Jeff Birding's suite. Down the way here on the West Pavilion. Has a personalized number 96 Dunlop FC Cincinnati kit. Now an important moment for FC Cincinnati defensively. Corner kick coming from Ottawa. Headed into the middle, kicked away by Mitch Hildebrand, kept alive. Howarth with a shot, headed away by Delbridge. Scary moment there as Mitch had to say no once more. He punches it down. Hume with a shot, it goes just high as he had a look after the save by Hildebrand.
Again, Tommy, we keep talking about the set pieces, but it means to be a little bit of a challenge for FC Cincinnati and a strength for Ottawa.
Hume had the shot that was saved by Mitch Hildebrand. He's been tested tonight and answered the bell a few times.
No, for sure. And there's definitely I'd say a size advantage for Ottawa. And anytime that you're getting into those positions within the 18-yard box, size is going to be the difference. Size and strength really is going to be the difference.
Now Gregg unable to win it on the far side. What has impressed you about the 3 center backs tonight with Justin Hoyt in the middle, Sem DeVitt going out to the right, and Harrison in his usual spot on the left?
I think they've really defended well on the ground. I think they've stayed organized. I think once they've won it back, I think they've also played out of pressure well. Started a lot of the attacks for FC Cincinnati.
Barden and McLaughlin jawing on the near touchline. If Barden gets booked, he's gone. The two of them separated now by about 15 yards. Eric Tattersall is going to call them back together.
I talked about this earlier, Tommy. Obviously, this battle should be running at him. A little bit of a foul.
Barden immediately told Jimmy to get up. Jimmy took exception to that. A lot of barking going on, and Eric Tattersall trying to slow it down. And you saw the captain come in there for Ottawa and say, hey, he knows his guy's on the yellow.
100%.
There you go. Now they're friends and making dinner plans. Maybe not that much. Barden, a native of London, England, played collegiately at James Madison from 2011 to 14. McLaughlin doing everybody back in Pennsylvania proud tonight.
If I'm Jimmy, I'm not changing the tactic or the game plan at all. I'm going straight at him again.
Boehner heads it into the 18, collides with Campbell. Matt Boehner's going to be called for the foul, much to his chagrin. Campbell is down for the second time tonight. after a shot to the face. Boehner can't believe that the foul was called on him. We'll have the opportunity to look at it again here in a moment.
I think it's fair, honestly. I mean, he hits him.
50-50 ball.
Yeah, it's a 50-50. I think he's maybe going to call it. The defender's kind of facing forward. Boehner's got momentum going forward into it. Certainly didn't put his elbows up. I thought Boehner did actually really well to kind of lean him with his arm or his shoulder rather than his elbow. But
Andre Campbell, the defender of Jamaica, still down after the collision with Boehner. 78th minute now. FC Cincinnati leading 3-1. Right now in 9th place in the East with 31 points. So the 3 points on the line tonight, huge for the orange and blue. These two teams will meet again in the second to last regular season match for FC Cincinnati on October 8th up in Ottawa. Sem DeVitt will come off here, and Austin Berry comes on. Berry this season has started a team-high 22 matches. Last time he came off the bench, June 9th of last season. Excuse me, July 9th of last season. So last time he came into a match off the bench, and that was when he was coming back from an injury. Right now replaces DeVitt, who had a solid 78 minutes. Berry will come in to try to help close it out. Play resumes following the injury to Campbell, who is waiting to be waved back on by Eric Tattersall. That signal has yet to come. FC Cincinnati, in the meantime, a throw-in from the far side. It falls to Bone. Knocked off the foot of Obasi. He returned actually from injury in the match against Tampa Bay on Saturday. So this is just his second appearance after returning from injury. 79th minute as some of the natives getting restless here at Nippert Stadium. Hoping to see these final 11 minutes wind off the clock. Sent forward for Hume, intercepted by the orange and blue. Dangerous ball into the middle, picked up by Barden. Left for Dos Santos. He has the lone goal tonight for the Fury.
Ottawa starting to really get numbers in the attack here.
Bruna looking for something with his left foot. Kenny Walker trailing it.
It's a big thing. FC Cincinnati have got to keep their line a little bit higher. Can't drop so deep just in fight this Ottawa pressure and these numbers forward.
Barden out wide for Sione. Sione will send it into the box, much too heavy, and it skips out on the end line.
He talked about the significance of the game. Obviously, you know, Ottawa are in 11th place. I think they've got 2 games in hand over FC Cincinnati. But the big thing too with this transition with the coach, you know, these players are going to be trying to impress as well. There's a little bit of uncertainty, a little bit unknown. And anytime you get that situation, players have to play out of their skin. You know, and they're playing for the future a little bit too.
Corbin Bone forward. McLaughlin knocked down by his new best friend, Jonathan Barden. This time the foul is called, and Barden races back to settle in defensively. FC Cincinnati probably not in a whole lot of a rush to get it back into play with 10 minutes plus stoppage time remaining here at Nippert. 4 off days the reward if the orange and blue can hold on and pick up 3 big points tonight. Greg with the header straight up into the air. Koenig unable to get there. Ottawa out into the midfield. Headed back by Austin Berry. Campbell welcomed by a round of boos as he comes onto his foot, and then he centers it. Dos Santos will try it from 30 yards out, and he catches the post. Berry racing over is going to send it up, and it's actually going to be a foul called on Ottawa as Berry was knocked down a few steps from the end line. That's a big call.
What a hit this is by Dos Santos. I think Mitch actually might have got a touch on this with his fingers.
Yeah, good call, Kevin.
Big time save off the post, but what a strike by Dos Santos. Excellent save by Mitch Hildebrandt.
You can see his eyes getting up there. He knew he got just enough of it to push it off the post. And then the foul was called on Ottawa, so instead of being a throw-in on the far side inside of the attacking third for Ottawa, it's a goal kick for Hildebrandt. Greg trying to pick it up. Del Campo has other plans. Bruno will serve it forward onto the foot of Dos Santos. Picked up his 5th goal of the season in the 48th minute. Campbell into the box. He gets a shot off. Hoyt got his foot on it and then quickly sent it out in the stands. Throw in coming.
Last game, Dos Santos too. That strike from distance reminded me a little bit of the goal against Tampa Bay. Strikes the ball probably from about 20 yards out. Ends up being the go-ahead goal in that last game. Game obviously finished 1-1. But certainly a player that can strike from all sorts of ranges.
Here comes the throw-in to the 18. Boehner heads it into the air. Hildebrandt trying to get a piece of it. Ball kept alive by Ottawa. Boehner there defensively. Left it for Kenny Walker, who will clear it out. Throw in again for Ottawa.
Ottawa certainly aren't giving up, Tommy.
No, you said it right away after it was 3-0. The Fury were battling, and they continue here in the waning moments. McLaughlin pokes it out, and Ottawa has to retreat into the midfield.
Very scrappy style, but very, very effective. You'd have to say these last 10, 15 minutes, Tommy. I think they've turned the tide a little bit. The majority of the game is being played in FC Cincinnati's defensive half.
McElhenney. Centers it. Now it's Bruno. Walker looking to turn him away and does just that.
It certainly has the feel of two teams fighting for those playoff spots, I can tell you that.
Ottawa right now sits 11th in the East. Of course, 8 teams get in, but they're just 3 points behind FC Cincinnati. So that tells you how crucial this match is here tonight. FC Cincinnati with 31 points. With the win, can move right back into the playoff picture. And as Lindsey said earlier, Alan Koch not worried about the seeding right now, just worried about being in the top 8. And certainly the opportunities to solidify that position will come for the orange and blue over the next month and a half. Boehner, big defensive play to get it out into the midfield. Koenig will send it wide for Greg. Bone into the middle, trying to get it to McLaughlin. He's knocked down. Jimmy slow to his feet, grabbing his forehead. And Corbin Bone will send it out. Eric Tattersall will come over to check on the youngster out of Malvern, Pennsylvania. Looks like he's grabbing his head and his left ankle.
Yeah.
Tough collision for Jimmy in the midfield.
I think he might have
boot to his foot and a collision.
Maybe a little bit of an elbow to the head or to the neck.
Ottawa had sent out their next substitution. Jimmy Shamar Sano will come on, and Cito Sione, who had a couple looks early, checks out. Sano from Montreal, Quebec. Came up in Montreal Impact's Youth Academy. Jimmy McLaughlin getting the attention from Aaron Powell, and he will limp off. I'm sure his grandfather watching back in Malvern, Pennsylvania, a little apprehensive right now. Good night for Jimmy. See if Alan Koch decides to use a sub and get him off of the pitch. Here with 4 minutes plus stoppage time coming, Jimmy just told Alan he's okay to return.
I think this too, trying to shift momentum back and kind of steal a little bit of time. Probably a good decision by Jimmy and obviously by Alan.
Even if it makes your grandfather a little nervous back at home.
I've just got to try to take the sting out of the attack for Ottawa a little bit if they can.
Delbridge with a nice ball forward for Greg, just a hair too strong. And Campbell able to knock it back to his goalkeeper.
Jimmy seems to be okay.
Immediately plays a header across the midfield with that high energy motor that fans have come to love here in the Queen City. Barden racing up the right side. Hits it with his left foot into the middle. Knocked away by Austin Berry. Danny Koenig doing everything he can to break it up and clear the defensive third. Finally, Obasi just had to retreat. Campbell working on Walker and Boehner, nothing there. Benny Walker's been very, very efficient tonight, Kevin.
He has, and his work rate as well has been tremendous, Tommy. You know, I think really it goes back to the message, you know, talking to Alan before the game, the message to his guys is like, look, it's about work rate and it's about discipline. I think so far they've certainly,
both, right?
You know, they've displayed that. Kenny Walker's been very important.
Pollock chasing it down along the touchline. Sano touched it last as it goes out.
I'm just thinking too, I don't think there's one player really that hasn't worked hard and to this point at least shown that discipline that's been asked of them.
FC Cincinnati certainly able to ride the highs tonight, not be too high following them, and then when the low came of the goal to get on the board for Ottawa, not to let that rattle their cage too much as well.
I think for the most part they've managed the moments well. I think that, you know, the last 12 minutes of this game, they've just got to act professionally.
Yep.
Doesn't have to be pretty.
2 minutes plus stoppage time, mate.
Sorry, 2 minutes.
I hope there's not 10 minutes of stoppage time.
I was thinking there's lightning coming through. We're used to those.
Stop. Games. Don't even suggest such a thing tonight. Campbell knocks it out for our touchline. FC Cincinnati will get the throw in. Probably not much of a rush to put it back into play.
But just getting back to what I was saying, there's just that professional approach. And we talked about it in the very opening moments, Tommy. It's that gritty mentality, right? Just got to grind it out.
Saw one yellow card tonight so far on the orange and blue, and that was on Tyler Pollock for delay a game, sending a ball 40 yards in the wrong direction after a whistle.
Do you think it's been a much better disciplined performance, though?
No doubt. Professional throughout tonight from the home side. The result right now, a 3-1 advantage. How about that run for Matt Boehner?
Talk about work rate. 2 minutes left in the game. He's showing that speed. It's fantastic.
Sends it into the middle, nobody there, so Ottawa will pick it back up. But Boehner read that ball perfectly and was able to run a few more seconds off the clock. Now he has to race back the other way.
Yeah, well, the only thing I'd say, Alan Koch is screaming, you should have kept it probably into the corner. You know, did the hard work and try to run off some more time.
We can see Allen clapping down on the bench. We're about to head into stoppage time, and it won't be 10 minutes, but it will be 5. So 3 yellow cards and a pair of goals here in the second half, plus a couple injuries. So 5 minutes of stoppage time being signaled in by the 4th official. We roll on to stoppage time, and FC Cincinnati 5 minutes away from improving to 6-0-0 all time against teams from Canada. Right now, the goal differential in those 6 games, 12-4. Got to schedule more games against teams from Canada. USL needs to expand. They're expanding.
Change the league setup, yeah.
I mean, the league's expanding all over. Get a couple more clubs in Canada, Jake Edwards. Campbell across the middle. Delbridge sliding, trying to knock it away. He disrupted the ball. Sano able to come over and get it. Keep it alive with Barden. Barden sent it in. Nobody was there. Deflection, however, fell to Howarth. He couldn't do anything with it.
Got to give Ottawa credit too, though, Tommy. They've not given up. You know, they fought all the way through this game.
Give Tyler Pollock a lot of credit tonight. Playing the full match in his first appearance since being injured on July 15th.
Just a little surprised, honestly, that he lasted the entire 90 minutes. And to be fair, he looks very fit.
And we've been to quite a few training sessions this summer. He's been training for about a week and a half, 2 weeks.
He's been working hard too with his rehab, so. And he certainly put the time in.
The presence of Josu, of Kevin Schindler, made it that they didn't have to rush him back to get him for league play or the cup run. They felt comfortable with the guys they had, which is probably to his benefit in tonight where he has 2 assists.
Yeah. The biggest difference, I think Tyler really plays that natural wing-back position well.
Certainly has flourished in this system. Hildebrandt with a save. Mitch says no more once again on the shot from 25 yards out.
Just does enough. Yeah, well, Tommy. Good concentration, though.
Bruna hit it. Quick corner here as Hume will try to take a shot inside the 18. 2 defenders on him. He sends it back. Sent into the middle, punched away by Hildebrandt. Then Bone knocks it out, and Painter is going to try to clear it in the midfield. He does that. McLaughlin looking to have one more run in him. Nearly got to it, but a step too short. Alan Koch is going to use the substitution here during stoppage time if he gets the opportunity and get Jimmy McLaughlin out of the game.
He's just trying to kill the clock off, I think. Doesn't look like there's any injuries, Tommy.
No, Polak sends it out into the midfield, and then it's out onto the near touchline, where Jonathan Barton's going to have to wait to throw it in. Kadeem Dakers will head in.
Looking at those 5 minutes, and hey, let's just try to eat as much of that clock as we can.
McLaughlin, a little bit too close, but the game plan is to kill a little clock here with the sub. Jimmy McLaughlin comes out. Kadeem Dakers comes on. 3rd and final sub for Alan Koch. That'll give some fresh legs here for the orange and blue. About 2 minutes of stoppage time remaining. Sent back forward by Ottawa. Delbridge heads it out into the midfield. Dakers trying to track it down. He misplay that ball. Kadeem Dakers is going to be all over it. It's exactly the case. He had Kyle Gregg coming on with some help. Kenny Walker will now give it to Kadeem.
Tons of space. I think the crowd's asking him to shoot. Do the smart thing and just kill it off.
Danny Koenig has been the workhorse tonight. Flex it off of Ottawa. Throw in coming for FC Cincinnati. Far touchline. They're on their feet in the Bailey, awaiting the final whistle from Eric Tattersall. Gregg watches it roll off of Ottawa, far side. Another throw in the direction of Gregg, taken off of his foot. Campbell picked it up. Dakers will keep it alive. Kadeem slides it into the middle looking for Koenig. Couldn't connect. Now the whistle should be coming any moment. Delbridge will knock it down in the midfield.
Fancy footwork by the center back.
The big Aussie trying to make a run. Needs to be careful there. He doesn't hurt himself. Maybe should have just sent it down towards the corner. Ottawa, maybe one more run in them. Howarth, the captain, fires a shot that'll go wide. And there it is. Eric Tattersall blows his whistle, and for the first time since July 22nd, they are dancing in the Bailey tonight. A 3-1 victory for the orange and blue. So a solid effort tonight by FC Cincinnati. 2 first-half goals. Koenig and McLaughlin picking them up. A second-half strike by Semdevitt on the feed from Polak. And 3-1 is the final tally. Tonight's moment of the match is driven by Toyota. Let's go places. And after that first goal by Koenig, it was Jimmy McLaughlin, who's been playing great. of late, making it 2-0.
Moment of the match for sure, Tommy. Does well to take all the space. Cool, calm, and collected, just slots it into the bottom corner. Great finish by Jimmy. Opportunity to go out 2-up.
Ends up being the game-winning goal. And another great celebration.
Nice little dance to finish it off.
From Jimmy McLaughlin. 9th win on the season for Alan Koch and FC Cincinnati. We will wrap it up when we return to Nippert Stadium. Once again, your final score 3-1 in favor of the Orange and Blue. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. Into the box. Hildebrand punches it away. It'll fall to the foot of Dos Santos, who gets a shot off. Hildebrand made the save. Tom Glenner and Kevin McCloskey back with you at Nippert Stadium, where FC Cincinnati victorious by a final tally of 3-1 and 3 huge points tonight for the Orange and Blue. Save time every time when you use online check-in for a great haircut at Great Clips. It's going to be great. Great clips, great saves tonight from Mitch Hildebrand. He needed some help from Harrison Delbridge a couple times, but boy, Mitch answered the bell on multiple occasions.
He did. He had a fantastic performance tonight, Tommy. Some big saves. This here, I think, is honestly the save of the game for me. Reflex save is coming in to the bottom corner. And then just tested again late, but good starting position. Did enough to just push it over. Good performance by Mitch.
Alan Koch challenged his team in the team meeting 90 minutes before the match. They answered his call tonight with a 3-1 victory. Lindsey Patterson is with Alan.
Coach, you say all season, manage moments out there. Your guys did that all night. How do you build off this for the remainder of the season?
Yeah, I was really happy with how we managed all of the moments tonight. Ottawa is an excellent team, and they've obviously got certain attributes that they literally tried to throw at us, obviously, through the last 30 minutes. So give our players a lot of credit. Obviously, everything we've gone through mentally and physically, it wasn't easy to come out here tonight and play really a game against a team that's also fighting for their lives just like we are. And I'm very, very proud of the guys. It's been in a tough last week, but they've responded in an absolutely brilliant way tonight. They get 4 days off. They thoroughly deserve those 4 days. They've worked very, very hard for it. But we've given ourselves a platform tonight to build on as we go throughout the rest of the games. Not necessarily only the games at home. We know we have to be better away from home, but we'll continue to go one game at a time. And we're very, very happy with how things went tonight.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Lindsey. We'll go back down to our sideline reporter. She'll chat with Mitch here in a moment. Tonight's match highlights are presented by Toyota. For all the latest Toyota offers, visit buyatoyota.com. And FC Cincinnati, there's Jimmy McLaughlin setting up their first goal of the night.
Again, Jimmy puts in a great ball. I think the difference here about is Danny Koenig and his willingness to use his body, get in between the defender and the goalkeeper, and starts off great for FC Cincinnati. This is Jimmy McLaughlin's goal. Takes a lot of acres, a lot of space, cool and calm, select. The right decision to put it past the goalkeeper into the bottom corner. Just a fancy dance to show off a little bit. And again, another great set piece. Good delivery in by Tyler Polak. Sam David is there to put it into the back of the net.
Then the moment that put Ottawa on the board, Dos Santos picks up his 5th goal of the season. It gave Ottawa a little bit of life there. but FC Cincinnati was able to hold them off, much to the play of Mitch Hildebrand, who is now with Lindsey as we go back down to the pitch.
Yeah, guys, Mitch said no several times tonight. What does tonight do for the remainder of the season for you guys?
It's huge for us. You know, we had obviously a tough stretch there, but to battle back as a group and to stay together as a team, you know, the coaching staff has been preaching, don't get too highs with the highs and don't get too low with the lows. And we needed this performance tonight. And from minute 1 to minute 90, every single person on the pitch, every single person on the bench, every single person in the stands was up for it.
I saw Coach huddled around all you guys in a circle right after the match. What did he say to you?
He just said that we needed a response, and we did. Tonight was huge to be back at home in front of our fans after the run that we've been on. Just proves the resilience of this group, and yeah, I couldn't be more proud of these guys. These guys battled, and you know, we'll just build off of this.
Thanks, Mitch.
Thank you.
Well, you can see the enthusiasm from the club as they head into the dressing room. Owner Carl Lindner, the third down there, giving everybody high fives. Mitch Hildebrand and the whole crew. A huge effort tonight here at Nippert Stadium. Tonight's Man of the Match is presented by You Pull and Pay. Find the parts you need fast and save at You Pull and Pay. And Danny Koenig, Man of the Match, had an opportunity early. Didn't quite finish it. Was a little frustrated, but boy, he made him pay later on.
I think just his attitude and his work rate tonight was fantastic, Tommy. You know, that really set him up. And the goal that he scored, obviously, was the lift in the stadium, you know, really started that momentum. And it didn't matter, as soon as he scored that goal, it was next play. You know, he's a guy that certainly, I think, set the example tonight for everyone else to follow. 9th
on the season for Danny Koenig, as he is our man of the match. Mitch Hildebrand, fantastic as well, and he'll head in to the dressing room to celebrate with his teammates. Once again, your final score from Nippert Stadium: FC Cincinnati 3 and Ottawa 1. Our next broadcast of USL Soccer comes your way all the way on Saturday, September 2nd, when FC Cincinnati hosts the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. The action begins at 4 o'clock on Local 12 and ESPN 1530. For sideline reporter Lindsey Patterson, my broadcast partner Kevin McCloskey, our producer David Ashbrock, and production manager Mike Bacon, I'm Tom Glitter saying so long and good night from Nippert Stadium.